I came to Eastern in 1977 after spending 9 years in the United States Marine Corps. I came here with an associate's degree and started going through the program. And one day at Eastern, a student in one of my classes said, "Well, how long are you going to be on campus?" I said, "I don't know because I'm studying business and it could take me several years to complete the program." He goes, "Well, have you heard of something called the Board of Governors degree program, which today is called the Bachelor's of General Studies?" I said, "No, I haven't heard of that." So I checked into it, learned that I could take all of my credit that I'd earned in my associate's degree, plus all my other coursework and my experience, and I transferred that into the degree. And I graduated in December of 1978, went on and actually became an employee of Eastern Illinois University. From there, I managed a pension fund, and then I started my own company and had a venture capital fund for a number of years. And I still am an entrepreneur, and I still have my own business. And I owe all of that to Eastern Illinois University. It's also probably important to know that I got my MBA through the Executive MBA program at the University of Illinois, again, because of this degree. So I owe my entire career and everything that I've accomplished to Eastern, and I'm really happy that I'm able to give back and tell my story and hope that others will find it of value as well.
I was going to Eastern Illinois University full-time in the fall of 1969 as a freshman, and I didn't know what I wanted as a major and dropped out of school and just started going part-time. I went part-time for 6-7 years, and I was introduced to Shirley Neal, who was very involved in the BOG program at that time. Shirley invited me to participate in the BOG program. I filled out the paperwork, wrote more or less a resume, some other paperwork, and submitted it to the BOG program. And they responded back to me, and I entered the program at that time, found out what I had to have to complete the requirements, and then completed my BOG program in the May of 1978. So 9 years after getting started, not knowing for sure what I wanted to do, through the BOG program, I completed my education. I always knew that I wanted to graduate from college because I was the first one in my family that had attended college. My grandfather went to 8th grade. My father almost didn't complete high school because he entered the service and went into World War II at the end of that time. So it was always a priority of my family for me to graduate from college. And it was through the BOG program that I was able to complete that because I didn't know for sure what major I wanted to go into till I was well into my 20s. And the BOG program gave me the direction and the guidance to do that and finally complete my program. And I had a lot of great memories of going to school, but finding out about the program gave me the impetus to want to go ahead and finish. And that's when I went back to school full-time, working at, going to classes actually at Chanute Air Force Base, where they had quite an offering of full-time classes, and then squeezing in daytime classes, because I didn't want to end up in school with any college expenses or college loans, and I was paying for school myself, and the BOG program was able to let me do that. So 9 years after getting started, not knowing for sure what I wanted to do, through the BOG program, I completed my education.
The reason I chose to finish my Bachelor in General Studies program at Eastern is that I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to set goals for my future to be able to contribute better to society. Very special memories of my experience with this program at Eastern was the fact that I would be in contact with very intelligent people that would convey ideas. Also, a very memorable experience is the contact with a former graduate of the bachelor's degree program in general studies that mentored me and helped me put together. After I finished my studies, I felt competent to go out and offer my lifelong experiences. I felt that I accomplished that. I felt competent teaching my beautiful Spanish program, both at the high school and later on, and having accomplished that goal. That was a very great thing that I accomplished.
So I came to the United States to be a doctor and go back to Lebanon where I was born, but then war in Lebanon interrupted my education and I got married. I was working, I got married, and for a while I longed to get back and finish my education. I looked at how I can get back into the program, and I was able to find that Eastern has a BOG program. At the time it used to be called BOG, and I was very excited because they sent actual professors up here and to Champaign, and I took classes, finished my BOG, and went on to get my MBA. I really enjoyed that the program sent the actual professors up to Champaign. So when we were in the classroom, we were taught by the professors. They were all nice people, and some of my memories is that students would say, "Oh, this professor is going to be hard," and when you really meet them, they were great, and I was able to get along with all of them, and we had a great time, and I was able to complete my BOG, and I loved every minute of it. I came from Lebanon, and my education was interrupted, and I really wanted to get back to school. I got done with the BOG program and immediately went into the MBA program at Eastern. I finished my MBA program, and I was working at the time still during all this time. I was working 40 to 60 hours and completed my studies, but when I was done with the BOG, I went straight to the MBA. When I was done with the MBA, I joined BPC as a COO at the time, never looked back. The Lord has blessed, and my experience at Eastern, both at the BGS program and the MBA program, has helped me become a very active member of my community and successful in my business.
Along with the encouragement I received from my wife, Gail, my enrollment into the Bachelor's of General Studies, or BGS program, arose from both a motivation to compete for advanced career opportunities, as well as a desire to challenge myself. I also spoke with several individuals over the years who had a positive experience while completing their BGS studies. My most memorable experience of the BGS program is actually a compilation of many positive interactions I had with not only the BGS advisors, the staff, and the director, but also EIU faculty and students. The BGS department was extremely helpful and empathetic toward my concerns and, frankly, my apprehension at returning to college as an adult student. With their help, I was easily able to complete the application process, compile and document my career and professional credit hour portfolio, and make a seamless transition into the BGS program. I always felt at ease and welcome throughout my educational tenure at EIU. There were many benefits to receiving a BGS degree. Personally, I proved to myself that I was able to return to college and earn that bachelor's degree while simultaneously improving my career advancement opportunities. I learned and shared new information I gleaned from my academic studies, and I met a lot of great people who were genuinely interested in my success at EIU. Today, I continue to recommend the BGS program to prospective adult students. My experiences with BGS, the students, the faculty, and all things at EIU were so extremely positive that today I remain a part of EIU.
The reason I decided to enroll into Eastern's BGS program, I was actually referred to the program by an advisor at Parkland. She explained to me how the professors would come to Parkland, they would teach the courses. Actually, it was at ease and it was convenient for me as a working individual, as a mom. I had a lot of things going on, and so for me to have to travel to Eastern would have really created a lot of obstacles in my life, and so it was very convenient for me to be able to take those courses here at Parkland. Particular moments that I had in the program that shaped who I am today, there are many, but if I could just choose one, I think it would be more of the professors. Specifically, I had a professor, Dr. Bouldry, he was a very good professor, I would say. We built several relationships with our classmates. We were able to move from the undergraduate program to the master's program. And so I think it's more of the different courses I've taken, the lessons I've learned with the professors, and then developing those relationships that I still maintain today. What I've actually learned from the program and taken away from the program is just dedication and hard work. It pays off. I mean, I've actually gone through the undergraduate program, the master's program, but it's just taught me to just continue on, don't give up, and just be able to obtain your goals.
I had been on two deployments, one to Iraq, one to Kosovo with the Illinois Army National Guard. And after the Kosovo deployment, I was a little frustrated that I hadn't been able to complete my college degree yet. And a man by the name of Jack Sherman took me in to see Dr. Kay Woodward, and she talked to me about the BGS program, and I felt that that was the best way for me to finally complete my college degree, as well as being a pilot in the civilian world. As far as a particular moment that I remember, it would have to be the graduation day. My parents kind of pushed me to actually walk with the graduating class. They wanted to be a part of that, and just to see their faces after I had completed my degree was one of the most memorable experiences for me. I felt after gaining the experience through the BGS program that my computer skills have greatly heightened. Also, it's provided for me the confidence I needed to go ahead and accept promotions at my current job. Only within a few months being a pilot here, they've promoted me to become the lead pilot for the base that I'm working at currently.
What brought me to the EIU BGS program was the Parkland College Adults Returning to College counselor, Billy Mitchell. I was a little undecided about what I wanted to be when I grew up, and Billy was very instrumental in guiding me toward EIU, the BGS program. That seemed to be a perfect fit for where I was at my point in my education. I don't know that I have a single favorite memory about my journey through EIU's BGS program. However, I've come away with several new friends and a larger network, and I feel very blessed to have had that type of experience in my journey. Now that I've completed my journey through the BGS program and I've graduated, I feel that the personal growth and development that I experienced as a result of being a student in the BGS program was phenomenal. I don't really have great words to explain it. I feel like I've grown, I've matured, I've polished off the rough edges. I don't think that I have realized the entire potential of it yet. I'm anxious to see exactly what this can bring to me.
Well, I enrolled in EIU's BGS program because it was convenient, and since I started at Eastern many, many years ago, it was a way for me to continue my education and not have to worry about if my classes would transfer and if they would all qualify. And I also started back on the catalog that I originally attended Eastern at in 1977. Some of the most memorable experiences I had during my time in the BGS program was certainly my first day back in a class at Triton College. It was an extension class through Eastern at Triton Community College, and realizing that I was back in school and could keep up with the work, and when I looked around the classroom, there were a lot of people just like me, so that was definitely a memorable experience. Other memorable experiences besides the brunch prior to graduation and graduation itself were some of the other classes I took at Triton, as well as the online classes and the friendships that I have made and still attain to this day. Some of the benefits of the BGS program are self-accomplishment, finally attaining that Bachelor of Arts degree, which is something I've longed for and actually promised my mother that I would finish. I know it sounds funny, a man who's 53 years old, but it was something that was very important to me, and the BGS program allowed me to do that. Other benefits, now I qualify for some promotions at work, and I'm also continuing my education, so I consider that a huge benefit, and I really appreciate the BGS program for all of those things.
I started taking classes at Triton. Like a lot of adults, had a couple of false starts and had some school behind me. But I was in an associate's degree program for communication, and I was sitting next to some kids that were less than half my age, and I was there with 35 years of publishing experience, kind of wondering, what am I doing in this thing? It's not really going to benefit me. And I'm on a community advisory board on campus, and one day Dr. Woodward came up from Eastern Illinois University and explained how they wanted to start having classes here on campus. And that was on a Tuesday, and on Thursday I was signed up, and it was the best decision I ever made academically in my whole life. The first class that I signed up for was with Dr. Kahn, and I called downstate to find out what would they recommend to somebody like me, because I didn't know where I was going and what I was really looking for. And they said, tell you what, take the first weekend and then call us back and tell me what you think of the class. And it was a phenomenal experience. I ended up taking 3 courses with him, and it's really life-changing because you've got someone who's got a lot of international scope and understanding. Plus, the friendships I made at Eastern were incredible. I came here, the first class I took was with Dr. Kahn. I didn't really know what to look for, except I wanted something better than a typical community college type of a thing, and Eastern fit the bill. The students that I met were people like me. They were a little bit older. They had a career and a life behind them, and we studied together, we worked together, we accomplished a lot of things together. They're great memories. I wasn't sure how far I could go with school. I mean, I'd been out for a lot of years, so when I was able to come back here, I didn't think I'd do as well as I did, much less get a 4.0. But it built my life skills a lot more. It just gave me the confidence and self-assurance that I needed. I came out of this a much different guy than the guy who walked in, and I'm always grateful.